question. A question came in from Brianna about, and this is a common, this is not an uncommon issue, we'll say, and it's about her horse struggling with horses coming at him, like when you're in riding together in an arena or a ring, or coming from the side. So it's not so much from them coming behind, but coming towards him. And this is not uncommon. And Murray, who was my off the track thoroughbred, he had a real problem with horses coming up from behind him, which I imagine was a leftover from racetrack, as he probably was slow and other horses would sail on by him. But he would kick because he would get defensive about it because he felt insecure. So the bottom line is saying they feel that it's not comfortable for horses to come at them or towards them. So what we want to do is create that association. So right now when horses are coming at your horse, Brianna, it is feeling like it's worth it to get away from it, to avoid it. That seems to be the thing to do. There is a reinforcement history with that. Who knows what exactly created it? And of course, we always go through the physical, struggles that may happen first. But a lot of times when we've cleared up the other issues, we've addressed the pieces, a traumatic event may leave the horses with a traumatic event, with a history that makes them think this is unsafe. Something bad happened when this happened. So what we want to set out to do in a very simple way is start to make it where when horses are near coming, whether from behind, knowing your triggers for your horse, when the horses are coming towards, the horses are coming forward. For Murray, it was coming from behind, and start reinforcing them when the horses are coming from those directions. But here's our caveat. You want to keep it where they can still keep it together, not struggling to keep it together, but where they maybe just begin to go, is that horse coming at me? And it doesn't get any further than that because we're not trying to trigger that whole big reaction. But what we want to do is start to change that reinforcement history, to change that association, to put more weight on that side of the scales that say new horses coming at me, good things happen, good things happen, good things happen, or any horse coming at me. So a way to do it, we're going to do systematic desensitization and counter conditioning. They're really big words, but they're something that we use all the time. So what I would recommend you do, and you might need to get a friend to help you with this, is, set it up where the situation happens. And ideally you'll find the least, like you're going to start at the least adrenalized place. You're not going to go to the trot and the canter, since we know the higher gaits tends to get a stronger reaction. You're going to start at the calmest, where you're setting them up for success, the calmest, the quietest, where it could be the least reactivity to the other horses nearby. And then what I would do is I would try to gauge how close can that other horse be before your horse begins to tense, so not the huge reaction yet, but just starts to feel like, whoa, hello. So and then work outside of that zone. So let's say a horse coming at you from 15 feet from the side is okay, but at 14 feet, you start to feel like your horse starts bracing for something to happen. And I'm talking the tiniest bits. I'm not talking big. I'm talking a little bit of, I'm starting to be aware. I would then stay at 16 feet for a bit, so 15's okay. Stay out of even, don't even get to 15 yet. And have that person, if you could, come towards you and then make a circle before it gets to being too close. But what you would do then, since you've already started with the positive reinforcement, I want you to click and feed as that horse is coming towards you. Still outside of the realm of worry, but you know that your horse is aware of it. It's not, even though it's not his worry zone, he's still kind of gone, yeah, but I know. So as a horse is coming at you, click and reinforce. And then they veer off and go, and you don't need to reinforce as much as they go away. But that concept that when the horse comes at me, you want good things to happen. And then slowly go to the next step and the next step and the next step. And this is really important too. You don't want to move to the next step until the previous step has been solid. So if you started off and it's a little like, why, he's struggling with it. You back up till he's not struggling with it. But let's say you made steps and you got a little bit closer and you got to 13 feet in this session. It was still going good. Click and reinforce while it's still good and quit there. Don't keep going until till you get the reaction. Because what I found over and over again is that once you get no, you tend to get a whole lot of no. You've triggered something now. But if you can keep getting yes, you tend to have more yes. But it doesn't mean you're going to start the next session at 13 feet. It means you may start the next session at 15 feet, but you may get a little bit closer. And let's say 13 feet was a bit of a struggle, but at the end they got okay. It doesn't mean you're ready for the next step. It means solidify that till 13 feet gets no reaction at all. You don't even feel the slightest bit of tension. And then slowly encroach and do it in different places, but keep it very, very short and sweet. Also realize this exercise is probably going to be a bit aversive for him. Even though you're using positive reinforcement, you're trying to stay below threshold. The mere fact that a horse is coming at them, even from far away, when you're still keeping them relaxed, may still, in the back of their head, get them a little bit adrenaline, and getting them just a little bit more tense. So what I recommend is do it, a couple times. That's great. Give them a break from that. Go on and make sure everything's back to normal. A lot of success with the other easier pieces, and then maybe try it a time or two again. So basically saying, your horse is saying, I don't like this happening. This feels unsafe to me. So now what we want to do is start building a new and improved reinforcement history. And again, they're doing things because they're trying to get something they want or avoid something they don't want. That's what's going on all the time, whether we're part of it or not. So there's times that we can, in a very patient way, begin to change their association. Like, for example, Murray, at first when I got him, he did not like his face held or kissed. But I do this all the time with my horses. And I thought, I'm going to try to do it all the time out of habit and have a hard time catching myself. So I thought what I need to do is turn it around so he likes it. So the first thing was just maybe reaching my hand up close to his face, clicking and reinforcing and going on my way until eventually I could touch his face, and then I could touch it with both, and then I could pull forward, and then I could kiss it, till pretty soon, and it wasn't even all that long, he loved it. Like, even he'd be reaching out, like touch my face. Or when he felt unsettled about things, he would want to put his head towards me and into my chest, which is then what we've done. We've got it to the classic conditioning. We've got it where it feels safe, it feels good, and it produces all the things that helps him to feel good. That's what we want to do with this exercise. We want to get it not just where your horse will tolerate it, because even if you can get your horse to tolerate it in the best case scenario at home in this arena, when you go to a show, there's a lot going on, and it's not going to be as solid as you want. We want your horse to actually like it, where it's like, hey, here comes a horse. But it just takes a little bit of time, and you got to go at his schedule. I wish I could say it'll take 2 weeks, it'll take 2 days, it'll take a month. I don't really know, because of we don't know what our horses are thinking. All we can go off is the reaction of your horse. Does he really truly feel calmer? So when you're doing it at home, it's going great. Do it at different areas of the arena. Then try to build that up a little bit to different horses. And as you can get closer till you can be, and do the same from coming forward. So I hope that gives you some good ideas. You're on the right track, and I don't know of very many ways better than to rebalance this than utilizing positive reinforcement. So keep us posted, Brianna. We'd love to know how you're doing.